and into turns 1 and 2. Running second is Chuck Barnes in car number X5 from Louisville, Kentucky. His Barnes Auto Service Racing Chevrolet. And then going third is David Thornton in car number 34. Running fourth, the powder blue Pontiac Grand Prix. Whoa, and they've made contact there. That's John Basham and David Thornton, as well as Rick Hine. Trouble at the intersection. It's Dale Puckett, and car number X62 is involved. And does not look like it does bring out a caution flag. We'll go to Jim Bartley here shortly for the driver's name in car number X62.
Frank, that's Eric Simon, it looks like.
Eric Simon in the Monte Carlo there spun to the infield. He's back in the event. As a matter of fact, Dale Puckett, though, has gone back to the pit area. He has evidently lost the rear tennis shoes on that Monte Carlo. We had a change up for the lead. It's Chuck Barnes down through the intersection. He's the new leader. David Thornton in car number 34, the Marshall's Auto Parts Racing Chevrolet, now runs second on the field, and he gets the challenge to the inside by Dennis Knoll in car number 38. And here comes Johnny Basham in car number X1 down through the spot as well. Okay, Barnes is out front. Dan Moody of Portland, Kentucky has gone back to the pit area as well. Okay, and they come down through the intersection once again. Chuck Barnes still shows the way. Change up for second place now, and it's John Basham in car number X1 overtaking David Thornton in car number 34 there at the start-finish line. Chuck Barnes is the leader. Whoa. And here comes the battle for second place now. David Thornton in car number 34, as well as car number 27, Rick Hine. And, okay, and we've got a tire off an automobile there. It's rolling down into the number 3 turn. I believe it's going to be well out of the way. Jim Bartley, we saw the black flag being given to one of the cars there that lap. Any clue as to what the problem may have been?
Frank, I believe it was X62 over here. It looked like he was throwing some sparks, and that's where our rear tire come from, off X62.
And we've got a caution flag for the Charlestown 5-0 figure 8 race with its leader, car number X5, Chuck Barnes, and the Chumley's Auto Cleaners Barnes Auto Service Racing Chevrolet continues to show the way. Currently running second, it's car number 34, David Thornton. And during the caution flag, we had an opportunity to talk to our in-car radio driver, Rick Hine.
Altercation we had during qualifying, but I believe it helped. It's running fine.
Rick, you moved up quite a bit there on the field. It looks like you started about 6th place there. Had a few close calls there at the intersection. You think you'll be able to take car number 34, David Thornton, on the restart?
Maybe not on the restart, but we'll be on him here pretty quick. He's running good, but I believe X5 is going to be the problem. If we catch him, I believe that's where our race is going to be.
How about that John Basham in car number X1 just behind you? He gave you a lot of trouble last year out here. You're going to try and hold him back for the remainder of the race.
I like him in the rearview mirror. I think that's the best place for him for me. I'll have a lot of trouble getting around him, but we made it this time. I keep him back and we'll be all right.
Thank you very much, Rick Hine, and we'll keep an eye on you for the rest of this race. That's Rick Hine in car number 27. And the race continues. And they get bumper to bumper. Oh, and there's trouble there at the intersection. Barnes has to lock on the brakes. David Thornton's the new leader as they cross the start-finish line. And that's one of the obstacles on figure 8 division racing, right, Jim Bartley?
Frank, I tell you, those things are a real surprise you out there. Look out. Whoa, I almost had one there. You'll be going along, and then all of a sudden there's a car in your way, and you don't have any choice but to put the binders on or put the fender to him.
As Chuck Barnes nearly did, but being the sportsman he is, he just put on the brakes and dropped back about 3 positions. But his car's running pretty good tonight. He may be able to get back up there again. But getting up there right now is Rick Hine, and he's getting on with this event. Car number 27, the Jim & Sons Wrecker Service, Amco Transmissions, and a Limco Muffler Racing Chevrolet now beginning to turn up the wick as he moves in on David Thornton in car number 34, the Marshall's Auto Parts Racing Chevrolet. Then it's X1 there running third, John Basham in the Lee's Used Auto Parts Racing Pontiac Grand Prix. At 4th place, former leader of this event, car number X5 in the Chumley's Auto Cleaners Barnes Auto Service Racing Chevrolet of Chuck Barnes. Okay, and they're getting stacked up too wide for the lead position here out of turn number 4. It's Rick Hine along the outside. He'll be on the inside going into turn number 1, and Rick Hine's the new leader, showing just why he is the 1986 division champion in the figure 8 division here. 27 on the point, and we have no driver name on X67. Okay, change up for the lead. X1, John Basham's the new leader. And we see smoke displayed from Rick Hine's automobile, Jim Bartley. We see a little smoke on the right side there. What do you think the problem is?
Frank, you may have a tire rubbing or something there. Yeah, sure does, Frank's got a right rear tire rubbing as he came through the intersection when he got in a little tangle earlier.
Incredible act of fate there for Rick Hine. Had moved up into the lead after taking starting 6th place on the field, taking the lead. It was involved in a little altercation there out of turn number 4. Has a tire rubbing, subsequently slowing the car down. John Basham, the dark horse, I had him down as the dark horse in this event, has moved into the lead. In fact, Chuck Barnes had a little misfortune. He too has moved up into 2nd place now on the field. And Rick Hine in car number 27 has a right rear wheel dragging the fender there, and you can see the smoke coming off that tire. Currently running 4th, making a rebound, is David Thornton in car number 34. Has dropped well off the pace, nearly a full straightaway behind the leader, John Basham. I believe the cross flag signals has been given to the field by Matt Potts. 25 laps down and 25 laps to go. Chuck Barnes has to let out of the gas there at the intersection for car number 46. Rick Hine will now move to the inside of Chuck Barnes as they battle into turns 3 and 4. Our leader is spinning out of turn number 4. He rights the car, gets it back up on the race course, and just as he begins to shoot grade, Chuck Barnes takes the lead in car number 5. Chuck Barnes has led the race twice now and has scored as being the official leader twice on the scorecard. Chuck Barnes in car number X5 is the leader, and it appears, Jim Bartley, that turn number 4 is beginning to get quite slick, and that's what caused the problems there for John Basham.
Yes, Frank, that's correct. When he went into the turn, he apparently hit something slick. I noticed Rick Hines hit it a little earlier, and I've been watching Rick Hines' tire. It's filling his compartment all up with smoke, and I don't think that car is going to make another 25 laps.
The attrition rate has claimed car number 27, Rick Hine, the driver from Louisville, Kentucky. And Basham's in trouble at the crossover. He straightens the car up, does a miraculous job of holding it under control, and has dropped 1 place back. He was running 2nd on the field, had to swerve to avoid an automobile there at the intersection. David Thornton now moves into 2nd place on the field. John Basham runs 3rd.
Pretty well running away with it here, Frank. At 141, by the way, I believe it's Tom Mall. And earlier we saw car 27, Rick Hine, going into pits. I believe a tire did go down on him. The tire just can't take that kind of pressure.
Talk about pressure. We've got it at the intersection. It was car number 64 and car number 141, the 4th place running automobile of Tom Mall. The Monte Carlo meets the Ford, and we're watching for the drivers to move around inside the car. We believe they're okay. The caution flag has not come out as of yet, and I believe both drivers are okay. But white flag comes out for Chuck Barnes as he scoots down through the intersection. Buck Skaggs in car number X2 nearly collects him. Barnes will move into turns 1 and 2. It's just about 1/3 of a lap advantage now over John Basham in car number X1 in the Lee's Auto Parts Racing Pontiac. Currently running third, and car number 34, David Thornton's back on the track, but he may be as much as a lap down to some of the other cars, especially Tom Hall. The checkered flag comes out. Chuck Barnes of Louisville, Kentucky, in the Chumley's Auto Cleaners Barnes Auto Service Racing Chevrolet picks up the first checkered flag of the 1987 racing season. Crossing the stripe 2nd, it was car number X1, John Basham. In the Lee's Auto Parts Racing Pontiac Grand Prix, and then crossing the line 3rd, unofficially car number 141, Tom Mall, at 4th place. Unofficially, it could have been David Thornton in car number 34. Jim, how long was he in the pit area?
He lost a couple laps there, Frank. Fletcher, the 141 car did spin earlier, and I know missed at least 1 lap, possibly 2, when he hit in the X with car number 64. So he could be very possibly 2 laps down and be in awful bad shape here.
Okay. There's the winner, car number X5 from Louisville, Kentucky, and he's sponsored by D&D Marathon as well as Snap-on Tools, Chumley's Auto Cleaners, and Barnes Auto Service. The driver who had led pretty much of the point standings in 1986 nearly all season long in the Bomber Oval division had moved on to the Figure 8 division for the final part of the 1986 racing season. He's coming on strong in 1987. Chuck Barnes, the winner. Crossing the stripe second, car number X1 in the Lee's Used Auto Parts Racing Pontiac Grand Prix, John Basham in car number X1. And then crossing the line third, they brought car number X34 up, Ron Basham in the Lee's Auto Parts Terry's Boat Service Racing Monte Carlo. S&S Engine Replacement Parts, located at 517 Abel Avenue in Louisville, Kentucky, has reconditioned cylinder heads and short and long block assemblies. They have over 2,000 cylinder heads in stock, especially those hard to find Escort cylinder heads. They also have camshafts, crankshafts, engine blocks, engine brackets, exhaust manifolds, flywheels, oil pans, pistons and pulleys, and push rods. S&S Engine Replacement Parts, 361-1281. Tomorrow night, Friday, April 17th, the Charlestown Motor Speedway opens its regular season program with radio station WAMZ 97 FM night. Everyone gets in for just 97 cents. See the Winston Racing Series NASCAR new and late model stock cars featuring over 35 entries for 1987 and featuring 10 new rookies in this division. The Sportsman Division goes back into action with the 1986 Series champion Bob Ferris, along with Gary Hostetler, Rick Irwin, David Clyde, Billy Webb, Rick Carr, and all the top drivers from the Sportsman Division. The Figure 8 division will also see action as they crisscross through the intersection at over 50 miles per hour. Sometimes they go, sometimes they stop, and sometimes it's the intersection connection. The wild and crazy American Bomber division that happens tomorrow night, Friday night, April 17th at the Charlestown Motor Speedway. Once again, it's radio station WAMZ 97 FM night. Everyone gets in for 97 cents. The Charlestown Motor Speedway is located 1 mile north of Charlestown, Indiana on State Road 3. The gates open at 6:30, the qualifications at 7:30, and the first race at 8:30 sharp. The Charlestown Motor Speedway, if you're under control, you're going too slow. And now for the start of the Enduro 200. 60 automobiles started on the track. They lined up 3 wide, Indianapolis 500 style, and they roll into turns 3 and 4, and they're just about set to go. Green flag racing for 200 non-stop laps of action. Here are the highlights. And second Enduro, the second event was a 400-lap Enduro. He collected over $2,500. Is back again in the Ford product for the first event of 1987. They move out of turn number 4. Matt Potts waves the green flag. And 60 automobiles take the green flag and move into turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, it's car number 73, Tom Kalin from Brooks, Kentucky, on the point. Black Ford showing the way. Car number 73 gets the challenge along the outside by car number 34, Ron Basham, running third on the field now, and there's a good battle for third place on the field. Car number 69, Bill Kimmel Jr. from Clarksville, Indiana, and the Hunt's Auto Sales Racing Chevy Monte Carlo, and there's trouble on the back straightaway in turn number 3. It's car number 1 involved, as well as car number 21. Car number 1, Dan Wright, and car number 21 is involved as well, John Levine, at the end of the back straightaway there, and it looks like John Levine is without his radiator. Okay, they mix it up pretty well down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Tom Kalin once again is the leader. Car number 73, the Black Ford, out of turn number 4. Driver from Brooks, Kentucky in the Bullet Machines Incorporated Racing Ford, currently running second on the field. And it's car number, and we've got trouble in turn number 3. Buddy Vertrees down to the infield. Chuck Barnes is involved. Larry Latham, car number 27, Rick Hine. And we'll have to watch the leaders now. It's car 73, Tom Kalin, as he begins to make his way through this melee. Up along the outside goes Bill Kimmel Jr., and he moves down the front straightaway. He's your new leader into turns 1 and 2. Kimmel in car number 69, Chevy Monte Carlo, shows the way in the Hunt's Auto Sales Racing Chevrolet. Lets out of the gas a little bit. Ron Basham makes contact momentarily with him, but once again, we've got a traffic jam. Jerry Bard in car number 01 is involved as well. Down in the third turn, Calamity Corner for tonight, Jim Bartley.
Oh, what a mess they had over there, Frank. It looked like about 8 cars all collided there. Your 01 car's being pushed off the track. Now he's still on track. He lost a radiator, dumping water all over the track. Looks like Bill Kimmel's gone ahead and made his move early in this race, and he's coming into the mess right now.
There's a little bit of H2O on the track down in turn number 3, and Kimmel's car slid through it there on that last lap, and he moves down the front straightaway and into turn, and he's collected by car number 64, but he finds the handle on it. Ron Basham in car number 34 there, just 3 car lengths back, and the white Monte Carlo currently runs second on the field, and then going third, we're going to call Fred Williams in car number 95, the 2-time new and late model champion here at the Charlestown Motor Speedway, currently running third. I did not see him go a lap down, Jim Bartley.
No, I didn't either, Frank. Fred's really coming up, it looks like, and of course he's been a champion here, point champion at Charlestown Motor Speedway before, and he's moving real smooth through the field, staying out of trouble. If you watch him, he's just diving real deep in them corners, doing a fine job.
The red and white Chevrolet Impala out of turn number 4. Freddie Williams from Minor Lane Heights, Kentucky, currently running third on the field. Then going fourth is car number 15, Scotty Heineman from Clarksville, Indiana. Down the back straightaway. That's your top 4 spots. Make his way out of turn number 4 and down and across the stripe. Into turns 1 and 2. Ronnie Basham runs second on the field in the Terry's Boat Service Racing Monte Carlo. And they continue to circle the Charlestown Speedway. Oh, we've got trouble in turn number 3. It looks like about 20 automobiles involved. And turn number 3, Calamity Corner for tonight, is becoming a parking lot. Our leader is involved. Car 69, Bill Kimmel Jr. is involved. Okay, and they continue to circle the speedway. Yellow flag will come out preceding the red flag according to NASCAR rules for tonight. We'll pick the leader up here shortly. The red flag is out, and we've got a problem down in turn number 3. And our Jim Bartley, you were keeping track of the leader. Could you let us know who it was? Bill Kimmel Jr. of Clarksville, Indiana, was carrying our in-car radio, and we had a chance to speak with him. Bill, this is Frank Scott up in the Let's Go Racing control tower. How's it going out there tonight? Bill, how bad is your car damaged? You were involved in that altercation in turn number 3 just as you were leading the event. How bad is the car damaged?
Well, I got problems, Frank, a little out around. It feels like I got a real bad wheel hop all around the racetrack. It feels like the wheels are out of bounds, like they're square. But the temperature gauge is running good. It's still got oil pressure. They're not the window, so we'll go as long as we can.
Bill, you are currently scored up in the 5th place position. You may be running as high as 4th place on the restart.
That's surprising, Frank. When I catch the wreck down there, I can't get my car back in low gear. It's running up the drive now. I can't shift back down, so I've lost quite a bit of power there.
You say you've lost a little bit of your horsepower?
Yes, I have, Frank. It just ain't full like it has been there earlier.
Okay, well, Bill, what will you try to do during the course of the event to try to maybe correct that problem? Okay, Bill Kimmel Jr., thank you very much. We know you're going to get back to Green Flag Racing, and once again, we unofficially have you up as high as 4th or 5th place at the current time. And on with the rest of the event. Back Green Flag Racing in the Enduro 200 with over 80 laps complete. Now they're moving in on the halfway point. It's beginning, it's been raining sporadically, and we got a change up front. Car number 101 is the leader unofficially. Currently running second is car number 34. Now the cars in front of car number 101 are lapped automobiles, so no change of the lead there. Car number 189, Dale Puckett. Car number 73, Tom Kalin. And Rick Hine and car number 27 are all getting around 101. Puckett's in the wall on the backstretch. Front end first on the Monte Carlo. Has hit the outside retaining wall on the back straightaway. It looks like there's a lot of H2O in turn number 2, and that's hampering the traction efforts there, Jim Bartley. Off the second turn, down the back straightaway, and Chuck Barnes once again looking to the inside. Okay, Ed Cawley in car number 101 currently running second on the field. All these positions are truly unofficial at this time, but according to the scores, unofficially, car number X5, Chuck Barnes is the leader. Ed Cawley in car number 101 currently running second on the field. Scott Heineman in car number 15, 1 lap down to the leaders, is currently running third. Scott Heineman's having a real good run tonight. Difference between first and second place, Jim Bartley.
Oh, definitely, Frank. I've heard of enduros, you know, 3, 4, 5 lap difference. Whoa, we had a flat tire here, Frank.
Car blowing the right front tire out and hitting the outside retaining wall in turn number 1. It was car number 29, and he was up in the top 10 in the in the standings. Car number 29, Bill Heil. Bill Heil hit the outside retaining wall, and I spoke to him last weekend. He said that he would just really like to finish this enduro race. He blows the tire while he was running in 5th place. Not a bad run at all tonight for Bill Heil, and I expect big things out of him in 1987 here at the Charlestown Speedway. Kept that car up in the top 5 or 6 all night long. And it looks like car number 15, Scotty Heineman, is slowing down. Car number 15, Scotty Heineman, the 3rd place running car. The driver from Clarksville, Indiana, blows out the, looks like the right front tire. He tags car number 101, Ed Cawley, there on the front straightaway. And boy, I tell you, that's something else there when Scotty Heineman can run in the top 5 all night. And now he's gone back to the pit area. They're going to have to change that tire and get a good finish tonight.
Don't want to be taken out.
Chuck Barnes has also turned 50 laps on the figure 8 course tonight. He's run 180 laps in this. The driver has to be fatigued.
Fatigue's not the word for it. I tell you, jogging the mini marathon here probably couldn't handle one of these cars. You're handling 3,000 pounds on a little steering wheel just with a grip of your hand. We've got 2 laps to go, Frank, and Chuck Barnes is still in the lead.
Chuck Barnes out front, just about 8 car length separation between first and second place. Matt Potts lays the 2-lap indicator out on the field to Chuck Barnes, and he'll scoot the Chevrolet into turns 1 and 2. There's a 3.41 second interval between first and second place as Barnes sachets off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway.
Oh, Frank, he's got it under control now. He's just easing around the track. 1 lap left to go as he catches the white flag. Here he comes. He's got the white flag. 1 smooth lap's all he wants.
Chuck Barnes into turns 1 and 2 as he moves to the inside of John Grubbs and off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. That's John Basham, excuse me, down the back straightaway. It will be Chuck Barnes in car number 5 pulling off the upset tonight and taking home the money in both of the events as the checkered flags comes out. Give it to Chuck Barnes from Louisville, Kentucky, the Chumley's Auto Cleaners, Barnes Auto Service, Racing Chevrolet, the miracle of the week. The miracle of the bomber division, I would say. Chuck. And now let's meet the race winner, Chuck Barnes. And we're standing by with the winner of tonight's big events, the 50-lap figure 8 event and the 200-lap enduro event, Mr. Chuck Barnes. And Chuck, you really came on strong in 1986. All last season you were running very well at the point standings until you switched over to the figure 8 division. Took you about 4 weeks, but then you started winning in that event as well. Here comes 1987 right out of the box. We watched you about 2 weeks ago down in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Had a little trouble there at the beginning of the season, 1 or 2 weeks into the season, and then tonight, the opening night here at Charlestown, your home track, you pulled it off. The 50-lap figure 8 event and the 200-lap enduro event. Chuck, how do you feel?
Pretty lucky, I guess.
Was there a lot of luck to it, or was there a lot of work went into the car?
I think a little bit of both. We did a lot of work. Worked on it for all winter long, just about.
Let's start with the figure 8 race, the 50-lap figure 8 race. Where did you qualify, or where did you start in that event?
I think it qualified about 3rd.
You qualified 3rd, and then did they draw for starting positions?
Yeah, when you paid entry fee, you know, it was, I don't know how they did it. They just gave you a number, didn't they? I didn't do it. He did it. He's the one that
I went up and drew 67th on 3rd row.
Yeah, I see. Okay, well, the figure 8 race, you went on and started that. You took the lead in the figure 8 race, and then what happened that dropped you back from the lead in that?
Well, my seatbelt came off. I knocked it off as I was going around.
The seat belt came off.
Kind of slowed down to get it back together. You know, kind of lost control a little bit.
You lost a few positions there, and then you made that back up. A few of the drivers had some misfortune. You took the lead in that. Time ran out in the race, and you were the leader when the checkered flag came out in the figure 8 race. We'll move on to the 200-lap enduro race, and Chuck, you started, back in that event as well. Worked your way up slowly to the front. That car number 101, that Ed Cawley out of Owensboro, really gave you a run tonight.
Yeah, he run good, real good.
Okay, well, Chuck, I know there's a lot of people you'd like to thank for helping you with the car. We know Chumley's Auto Cleaners is one of them, and you have a few sponsors on the car. You'd like to mention them.
Yeah, Roger Holt and Snap-on Tools, and Chumley helped us out a whole lot. All the crew, you guys work with me.
Okay, and let's introduce you to the winning pit crew here. Your name, sir?
Keith Hammond.
And Keith, what is your function on the race car?
Chief mechanic, I'd say.
You change the tires, keep the front end alignment correct and everything?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the credit's got to go to you for tonight for putting that car in the lineup and running well. And as in the past, in 1986, he had such a good year. And your name, sir?
Numsy Redmond.
Okay, and you helped out with the car as well?
Yeah.
Who did that paint job on the car, Chuck?
I think a little bit of everybody.
It's family outing to paint the car.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, well, once again, this is the winning crew of tonight's race. They won the 50-lap figure 8 event, went on, took the 200-lap enduro race, and they had everybody covered tonight. Mr. Chuck Barnes, and what's your plans for 1987, Chuck?
Keep on racing.
Keep on racing, and that's exactly what we'll do each and every Thursday night right here on Store Cable Channel 13 when we get ready to go racing on Channel 13. For Andy Vertrees and Kenny Stilger and the entire staff of Charlestown Motor Speedway, my cameraman Glenn Hostclaw, I'm Frank Scott, and we'll see you next Thursday night on Store Cable Channel 13 when it's time to say, let's go racing. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Let's Go Racing and invite you to the Charlestown Motor Speedway tomorrow night. It's the opening night of the season for all 4 great racing divisions. The NASCAR Winston Racing Series sanctioned new and late model stock cars. That's the brand new 1987 Turbo Trans Am's IROC Z28s and Turbo Thunderbirds. The Sportsman division will be back in action, as well as the American Bombers and the always exciting Figure 8 division. Opening night, tomorrow night, it all starts at 8:30, courtesy of WAMZ radio station 97 FM. It's 97-cent night. Everyone gets in for 97 cents. Until then, we'll look for you next Thursday night at 10 p.m. right here on Store Cable 13 Strong.